All right, guys, in 2026, in the big new age, as a young guy, you cannot afford to be unfit. You cannot be a wet sponge. That's what I'll describe it as. I call this physique the wet sponge physique, and it's basically just a skinny fat physique. You know, you don't have a lot of muscle mass, but you're a high body fat percentage, and you just look like shit, right? You look weak, and you look like your lifestyle. You know, you don't eat well, you don't work out well, and you're inconsistent with everything. You can't afford to be like that, okay? Girls won't respect you, guys won't respect you, and it'll be terrible all around. If you bulked up to like 250 pounds, you'd probably be better off, even though we all know that's not something you should do because it's unhealthy and it's not really going to be very beneficial for you. But you could be like 250 pounds and see more respect from guys. Will you get any girls? No, probably not if you're fat, but you know, you'll at least not be a skinny wimp anymore. You can't be skinny, weak, and fat, you know? Like, pick a struggle, my guy, right? Can't be fucking broke and unhealthy, all right? You gotta choose, okay? I used to be like that, right? I used to have a terrible physique when I was like 14, 15, and I was playing like my dating life and my general life on hard mode, you know? It was hard to get respect from people, and it was difficult to get girls, you know, because no girl wants to be with a skinny, fat, ugly little dude. Like, I'm sure you don't want to date a 300-pound woman. It's the same for women. They don't want to date you when you're a skinny, fat little chud, right? It's simply makes sense. Everybody's complaining about hypergamy and, oh, women are so hypergamous, but it's like, you would be too, my guy. You know, if we're really going like that, why aren't you dating girls on your level, you know? If you're a skinny fat chud, you should be dating a girl who's 250 pounds, right? Hypergamy is not something you should be concerned about. You should only be concerned about elevating yourself to such a point that hypergamy only benefits you, okay? You know, elevate yourself to a point where it's like, yo, all these hoes are hypergamous? Good. You know, I'm the top guy, right? That's what you want. Anyways, you need to get in the gym. You need to be in the gym at least 4 or 5 times a week. And you need to lift heavy weights, and you need to eat whole foods. Really, that's all it is. It's very simple. You don't need to take steroids. I promise you, you won't benefit from taking steroids. All you'll see is terrible side effects and getting really fat, you know? Like, you might get really strong, but what's it worth if you're just really fat and ugly and you got acne all over your face, you know? It's like, all right, you're strong, cool, you bench 400 pounds, but it's like, nobody really cares, right? Yeah, get in the gym and just be consistent, all right? I started going to the gym when I was 14, 13, 14, and I just stayed consistent with it, you know, for a couple years, and now I've built myself a decent physique that, you know, I walk around college campus, high school campus, whatever, and girls will ask me about it, right? They'll come up to me and they'll ask me about like what I do, what my routine is, and, you know, most of the time I'll downplay it. I'll be like, nah, I was just born this way, because that's what you want to do, right? You don't want to tell them, oh yeah, I researched this for hours upon hours, and I found the most optimal way to build muscle and to get lean, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Or even telling her you took PEDs, which you shouldn't, but, you know, if you do, yeah, I took steroids. You never want to be like that. But yeah, no, just get fit. It'll take time. Okay, I didn't see any results from my physique till about, I would say probably about 10 months ago, if I'm being real, right? I had progressions, but the way it works is it's not linear. The results that you see from your physique and the advancement of your physique, it's not a linear correlation, right? The way it'll work is you'll advance like this, right? You'll go up, 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 up really quickly because of newbie gains, and you'll build a lot of muscle mass, but nobody will care, okay? That's the truth. Nobody gives a shit. And once you reach like the end point of the newbie gains, there's like another 2 to 3 years before you hit a threshold, which when you hit that threshold, then you'll see results from your physique. Then you'll have guys asking for your routine. Then you'll have guys looking at you and being like, holy crap, bro, you're fucking jacked. And like girls asking you for asking you for advice so they can go tell their boyfriends what to do, you know. It's like genuinely some of these girls will ask me, oh, what do you do in the gym? I really want my boyfriend to be built like you. And it's like, dude, I could really steal your girl right now, bro. But you know, I don't, because I'm just a nice guy and I've got enough, right? But yeah, no, dude, if you just stay consistent with it for a couple of years, you will see you will see yourself go through the threshold, and you'll know when you're there. Okay, it's not something that you might pass and accidentally not notice. No, you'll notice. I promise you, you'll notice, dude. It's freaking incredible. Anybody who tells you that going to the gym won't get you girls just hasn't done the right things. They've built a male aesthetic, right? You go to the gym, you hit all the muscles that are attractive to dudes. You're going in there doing deadlifts and freaking bench pressing, flat bench press, or like decline bench press, getting the saggy boobies to grow, you know. And it's terrible. You want to train the right muscles, and you want to train them very well. A lot of people, when I tell them that I don't really train for any other purpose but to build like nice attractive muscles, they'll look at me and they'll be like, but aren't you an athlete? You do Muay Thai, right? You compete. Aren't you trying to build strength? But it's, the way I'll say it is, you want to have different things that you do for different purposes. I don't go hit the bag to look attractive. I go hit the bag to get better, stronger, faster, you know, get better at my technique and get better with my flow, you know. But I don't do it to build my physique. And it's the same way. I don't go to the gym to get better at Muay Thai. I go to the gym so I can build some fucking gains that the bitches like, you know. They're just two separate things. I don't like the whole functional training thing. It's, in my opinion, it's pretty much useless. If the only functional training that you need as like an athlete is your sport, and that's it. Especially when it's like a high practice sport like Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, whatever, you don't need functional training. I can understand if you're playing volleyball or football where you guys can't play games every single minute of every single day. Like I can spar for 2 hours straight, right? And get a whole lot of practice in. That's completely functional. But for other sports, it doesn't really work like that. I can understand maybe doing functional training for that. But as like a high practice sport, you don't need any functional training, okay? Keep things organized. You don't work out to get strong. You work out to build some nice muscles. And as a side effect, you'll also get strong. You know, I bench 315. Okay, I'm not like weak. I weigh like 185 pounds right now, and I can do 315 maybe for 2 to 3 reps. So it's like, I'm not weak, dude. But I didn't train for strength. It's really that simple, right? So the message of this video is basically go to the gym, stay consistent for 2 to 3 years. Don't get too obsessed. Don't become a gym cell, okay? You don't want that life. All right, you need to stay mentally yourself, right? You don't want to adopt the personality of the thing that you're doing, because that will just, it'll destroy you. It'll rot your true soul. All right, I'm not the gym. I'm not Whole Foods. I'm not Muay Thai. I'm myself. These are just things I do, right? Think the same way. Anyways, if you found value in this video, if it was fun for you to watch, engage, listen, then like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.